When you're a jockey and you start off when you're 17, you've got all these big dreams. Winning that race is what is part of that dream. It is one of the big ones, and when you can add that to your CV, it's special. I had quite a bad fall at Market Raisin in the summer plate, riding a horse for Peter Bowen, actually owned by Di Walters. And I'd broken C7 and T1, which is quite a serious thing. I wasn't sure whether I was actually going to be able to ride in it. I hadn't ridden for 4 and a bit months prior to that week. You know, it's a big deal, and it was a big deal with the horse because he was favourite going into it. There was a lot of pressure involved, and I think quite a lot of people thought Nicky and Trevor Hemmings were mad letting me ride it. When you have an injury that you think is going to end your career or might end your career, and then you come back, and then you have the anxiety of, will they let me ride him? Will I be back in time? And it was an awful lot of pressure. I never had a moment's doubt about myself. I never had a moment's doubt about the horse. And that was the thing that drove me more than anything else. Like, I thought, this is a case of turn up and this horse will win. And I just thought, please let me ride him. I never had a moment's doubt that Nicky thought I wasn't up to the job. And I think that gave me confidence. You know, he always instills his jockeys with confidence, because if you've got a trainer who's doubting your ability, it sets that negativity off in your own head. I never had that with them. Unfortunately, he's not here anymore, Trevor Hemmings. Like, without him saying, I want Mick to ride the horse, I wouldn't have ridden him. It was as simple as that. That race for me is one of the biggest races I ever won for that reason. When you ride a horse in a race that big and you are that confident it's going to win, trust me, that does not happen very often. That's a rare feeling. Like, even during the race itself, it had gone perfectly, and I can remember moving him out when we turned for home, and I just had so much horse underneath me. And I just, you know, you think, he's going to win. Just don't mess this up. I can remember jumping the last, and I gave him a squeeze and off he went.
Race for the final fence, and Trabolgan maybe just put Lammy put in a tremendous jump, and Dow takes over just by a nose. Trabolgan now is given the office by Mick Fitzgerald. Can he quicken away like a good horse? Trabolgan under top weight from Lammy in second place. Cornish Rebel runs on for third and fly or die, but under top weight, Trabolgan gives Nicky Henderson his first Hennessy.
And it was the first time in my life where I was just, and even now I can feel it. Yeah, I was just totally overcome with emotion. It meant so much to me, and it meant so much to all the lads involved in the yard, like all the staff, because it is a big race. It's probably the biggest one actually of the whole year for everybody involved in the locality. Oh, he was a Gold Cup horse. There was absolutely no doubt about that. The difference with good horses and ordinary ones, when they make the step up in grade, they can't go the extra. They can travel in the race, but it's when you press the button to go, they just don't have the go. Whereas a horse like Trabolgan, he had plenty of going. And I've ridden so many horses that were nearly horses that they get you there, and you get to the turn-in, and you think, here we go, and you press the button, and there's no response. And it's a very empty feeling. But with him, you never got that. When you watch it, it brings it all back to you, but you see how easily he won and how well he was travelling it. But also the horses around him, they were all good horses, and you know, they went on to great things. And when I watch the race back, think of what might have been for Trabolgan.
Trabolgan gives Nicky Henderson his first Hennessy. Mick Fitzgerald, back from injury, wins the big race.